everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I am your host, Tiffany Daniels, and please excuse this as it keeps getting in the way. Alright, folks. Welcome to another segment of... that word doesn't mean what you think it means. Alright, without further ado here, let's get into this. Today's word we're going to go over is actually a word that is more often used against folks in the autistic community than you might believe. This word is used most often when autistics online, usually under the actually autistic hashtag, there have the audacity to speak against those folks who invalidate us by calling us, let's see here, self-diagnosed and all kinds of things. If we disagree in any way with anything that they have to say about autism spectrum disorder and what life is like having the disorder, more often than not, the word sociopath gets thrown in our faces, sometimes, depending on the Twitter mood, on a daily basis. So, we are going to go into what a sociopath actually is and how this word is used incorrectly. Now, some folks in the JD versus AH have also been called this name. We'll go over how that's just complete nonsense here in a minute. Now, our definition for sociopath today is coming from healthline.com. I will be giving the direct link to this here in the description. Alright, so what is a sociopath? A sociopath is a term used to describe someone who has antisocial personality disorder, also known as ASPD. People with ASPD can't understand others' feelings. They'll often break rules or make impulsive decisions without feeling guilty for the harm they cause. People with ASPD may also use mind games to control friends, family members, co-workers, and even strangers. They may also be perceived as charismatic or charming. That is what a sociopath is. Direct definition. Now, you will notice, and I'm not afraid to admit it, there is some commonality with those who have a spectrum disorder and those with ASPD. So, let me go over the similarities and then we'll go back as to how that is not being the reason as to why we're getting called this online. For anybody who wants to bring up commonalities. Okay. Commonalities. Being able to understand another's feelings. Autism spectrum disorder, this is a real murky area because we do have more difficulty in being able to understand another feelings than the average person. Here's where ASPD and autism differ. Just because it is more difficult for us to understand doesn't mean it's impossible. People with autism do notice when you're sad, when you're hurt. We notice all of these things. What we usually have trouble being able to understand, especially when we're younger, is what is the underlying cause. We have the desire to fix it. When we can't fix it, we feel anxiety and anger. A lot of times, for some reason or another, people say that is us not understanding and being insensitive. But anyways, we'll go into a few other similarities, and then we'll talk about how that's not why we're being called this online. Mainly, it is in regards to other people's feelings, and what they often claim when autism and sociopathy are completely confused for one another is that we don't care about other people's feelings and that we don't have feelings. Okay, on the autism side, this is just mere disconnect in communication. It is not that we don't have emotions, it's that we have difficulty expressing those emotions in a way that a normal person would be able to understand. So, let me give you an example. When I was younger, and sometimes as an adult, most of my emotions, particularly the negative ones, will manifest, more often than not, as anger first. It just always has been that way. It's taken a few years as I have grown older to be able to express outwardly in a way that other folks could understand any other emotion other than anger. So, that is lack of communication ability. That's communication disconnect. It's not emotional disconnect. Now, here's what they are saying we are doing online when we're on our Actually Autistic hashtag, talking about the abuses in ABA, the abuses in medical practice, abuses like what's happening at the Judge Rotenberg Center. This is what they think we are doing. They think we are using mind games to control their friends, them, co-workers. And that because some of us can and do come off as charismatic and charming, some of them may genuinely think we're sociopaths. Others use this word as either A, they don't really understand and they don't want to, or B, they literally think this way. And why? Why do they think this way? Well, let's think at how. Well, we can go over that. That's another subject entirely. This is about a word. Sorry. We've gone in how the media and everybody portrays autistics before. Now, sociopathy is used as a shutdown in regards to a lot of people who are defending JD against AH as well. And it's the same things that we just went over as well, that we see it as mind games, a way to control strangers, to create dissent, to create chaos for chaos' sake. And the reason why they do that is we live in a world where people can't comprehend not going along with what the media is telling you. They have this idea that if they see it online on a newsreel or if they see it on their TV, it's 100% true. So, if you go against that, then they don't understand where you are coming from. So, you would have to be, in their opinion, a sociopath, a narcissist, an ism of some kind. At least, that's why I would hope they're calling us that. But, here's why I think they're using the word incorrectly. These folks stalk our accounts. On our accounts, on our threads, you will see repeatedly in regards to the JD case. Evidence. In the actually autistic hashtag, you will see not just allegations, full reviews, actual evidence. People going through reports, going through data, doing interviews. We like our receipts and we keep them for a very long time. Hence my bitterness towards Autism Speaks. But that's an entire different subject for another day. When people use this term in regards to us, it loses its weight the minute we begin to throw down evidence and they blatantly ignore it. They use it as a term, and what they are doing is projecting. They themselves may or may not have sociopathic tendencies. We simply don't know. We don't have an eye in their home, so to speak. But the person that they are supporting, on the other hand, absolutely does have many of the traits we just mentioned a minute ago. What do we see on those audios? Mind games, manipulations, creating scenarios, all for, I would assume, her entertainment. They are projecting the traits of the person that they are standing by onto us. It is misdirection. It is kind of a psychological sleight of hand. And for those who don't even actually do this for her, but are simply doing it to be a troll and for their own sick pleasure, they're doing it just to create chaos. There's a few of those out there. I like to call them professional trolls. I know a few. So, what are we really concluding in this whole babble? It means people use the word sociopathy, whether it is against autistics in the autism rights and neurodiverse rights movements, whether it's against the ADHD folks in the neurodiverse movement, whether it's people with disabilities in the disability rights movement, or whether it is for the supporters of JD and the Justice for Johnny Depp movement, as a way to either A, silence us, and if they can't silence us, they are doing B, trying to discredit us, particularly amongst the populace who is less likely to do their own digging. So, sociopathy is not what they are presenting it to be. It doesn't mean what they think it means. When they call you a sociopath for sticking to facts and supporting someone who's an obvious victim, you definitely don't understand what that word means. And I find it very interesting that it's a word they throw around because the person that they support is almost a textbook case of it. Alright, folks, that's really all I got for this afternoon. Now, as always, folks, we don't get many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed, so if you could, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time here with me today, and I hope you have a good one.